need me a garbage can down here to start throwing some of this stuff in. I got a lot of stuff that ain't necessarily good. I'm just going to start loosening these strings up. These are not geared pegs on this one, so they turn one for one, unlike a geared peg will have a variation on it, kind of like a transmission. This has a very nice Stromberg tailpiece on it. These are going to be short strings, so I probably won't have anything that I can use them on in the future. Sometimes you can save strings, and I always save them to use on something else, but usually I can find a pair. And I bought a lot of strings in the past, and usually I can find a string in whenever I need some, so I don't have to use any old ones, but once in a while they come in handy. I'm just about out of videos. I've been enjoying my boat so much that I've been making videos of being out on the lake and not really making videos of anything else. And y'all's reaction to those videos have been pretty good, but I think a lot of you kind of like to see me doing something other than just riding around in the boat taking pictures of the scenery, which is actually a pretty fun thing for me, especially, you know, since I just built that Boston Whaler. That's kind of where I've been. Like every time it's a nice day and the sun's shining, I've been getting out there, and I'm aware that winter is just around the corner. That's a really nice bridge right there. I'm gonna put it over here. I've got a special box for my good stuff, and I'm gonna sit that in here. So this takes that off. I think I'm gonna try to use that tailpiece. Maybe what I'll do with these strings here is just tie them. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll just take them and loop them around and stick them through, like tying them a knot. That way I've got them all together. And if I want to use them, I can. Nail, I can hang them on. I think I'm going to take this tailpiece loose while I'm working on it. I'm going to have to take it out of here anyway. So I've had a few interesting mishaps lately, and I'm not sure whether I should even talk about them or not. Some of my YouTube friends have come over looking for me on Facebook, and I should explain, my biggest reason for being on Facebook is just so I can keep up with friends and family. I run a few Facebook pages for Robert and Trish for the dance pages, and I run a few different things over there. But a lot of times back in the old days, YouTube had a messaging service, so if you was talking to a YouTuber, you could send them a message through YouTube, and they did away with that. So now if somebody says, hey, I want to talk to you about something, you have to give them a means to connect with you, and I usually just tell them how to find my Facebook page, and that way they can send me a message. And sometimes we want to talk about something else, like maybe deciding to have a get together or something. But lately I've had a few YouTube friends come over and get mad at me on Facebook because of something I posted over there. And I don't know, I find that kind of, I had one today tell me he was never going to have anything to do with me today because I was a liberal or something like that. You know, I try to keep politics out of all this, and I'm going to tell you, and this is just straight up and down how it is, I've always been in the middle of the road. Being in the middle of the road means, if you can imagine a road has a line in the middle, and if you're in the middle of the road, and if you can imagine that all the ultra conservative right wingers are on one side and all the liberal left wingers are on the other side, and you're in the middle, then everybody is, especially in a very polarized climate, is going to hate you, because the right wing has gone so far to the right that if you're not right there with them, then they just automatically brand you a liberal, even if you're in the middle. And the left wing has gone so far to the left that if you're not completely on the left with them, then they'll brand you a right wing, whatever it is they say, right wing, Nazi, anarchist, I don't know, whatever. It seems like people have lost track of the idea that you don't have to be one thing or the other to be okay. You can be, and I think it's healthy to be, in the middle and not subscribe to the far right or the far left, although I'm wide open to any good ideas that anybody has on either side of the spectrum. Because I'm in the middle, I'm not married to the right or the left. And if somebody on the left has a good idea, I think we should look at it. And if somebody on the right has a good idea, I think we should look at it. But apparently there's people, I got called a liberal because I put up a saying which nobody would have ever objected to, but they didn't like the picture of the person who said it. And I asked them, if I put up that same saying and I put up a picture of the person that you like best, would it be okay? Because really they wasn't objecting to the thought. They were objecting to the idea that the person that said it, and then I quoted it. That's disappointing. I just expect people to be better than that, less than that accusatory. I don't know. But anyway, debated on what to do about it, and I decided not to do anything about it. The young fella that said he's never going to come back to my page again, I guess, it ain't like I'm making any money doing this. I make so little, you might as well say it's zero. And if somebody ain't happy here, adios, amigos. Have a nice life wherever you wind up at. But, I'm not taking responsibility for your happiness. If you want to go somewhere else and be happy because you like somebody else, because they agree with whatever it is you feel like people need to agree with, then good for you. Hope you enjoy yourself. But in the meantime, I'm just going to stay here and do what I do. Now, some of you you just overwhelmed me. I think it was Duster, it was 71 Duster 71. We had a 71 Duster when I was a kid. Dad bought it brand new. One of the few brand new cars my dad ever bought was a 71 Duster. And he made a comment about, I don't comment a lot, but I'm out here and I appreciate you. I mean, that was nice of him. People do that. Having people call me names, and I feel like if someone calls you a liberal, they're calling you names. And because people attach a meaning to that that has nothing to do. I mean, it's people get all riled up over the names that they assign people, and they assign those names to people so that they can dehumanize them. If you study propaganda in the military, you're going to learn that anytime the military wants you to hate someone enough to kill them, they're going to get you to dehumanize them by giving them a name. And in Vietnam, they called them gooks. In World War II, they called them Japs. There's always going to be a name. So it seems like to me that people on the right use the word liberal in the same way, because if they call you a liberal, they don't have to say anything about you beyond that, because they've already made you into a bad person just because they stuck that name on you. Whether they understand really the meaning of that name or whether they understand anything at all about how you really feel. And that's disappointing to me. But in spite of being disappointed, here I am with the camera running. You guys are here with me. So if any of y'all are disappointed with me and you want to abandon ship now, I'll just wish you a happy life, and that for those of you that choose to stick around, I appreciate you. Thank you very much. I don't know what I'm going to make videos out of next. I am thinking I'm going to get the Rambler back in the barn and get that engine in it. And I asked Bill the other day about coming over and helping me move it, but he must have forgot. And I didn't really call him on it because I was feeling really lazy yesterday anyway, so that didn't happen. But I got the Rambler to work on. It might be good. I think I'll enjoy working on it. It's kind of cooled off already, and I think I'll enjoy working on it in the cooler weather. I wasn't much enjoying working on it in the hot heat there before. Now that it's cooling off, I'm starting to feel more like getting onto that. And I've got another John Deere lawnmower that I can fix up. Oh, I got projects. I'm gonna put a shift kit in the Studebaker. I'll get around to that here after a while. I got a couple, 3 or 4 car shows coming up, so I haven't wanted to have a plan to do any of those things I'm mentioning because somebody's here. Let me go see if this bugged me. I'm not expecting him today. So I wasn't going to say anything about that, but then I did anyway. Last time I said something about anybody, I lost a friend. I had a friend that used to be a good friend, and he won't talk to me anymore. I don't know if it's because of something I said or if it's something I did. It might be something I did because I was thinking the other day, well, he probably is mad at me about something that I came up with, you know. But you lose friends in a lot of ways. Sometimes they die. Sometimes they just don't want nothing to do with you anymore. I get it. I've lived long enough to get used to that. Okay.